For the King, he has a great love and affection for this country. It was his 20th visit here. He said in the speech about how every time he visits here, a little bit more of Canada seeps into his bloodstream and then to his heart. He really, really does love this country and love being here. And I think the visit, although it was short, has meant a lot to Canadians and has been, made a real difference to them.
And Charlene, that's the point where we should probably talk about the King's emotion. What did you think about some of those pictures? But actually, the cameraman who's sat behind the camera very dutifully right now, Kevin, caught these images of the King yesterday, just looking really, really emotional. And just as well as we do, Charlene, that's quite unusual for members of the royal family to let their feelings show through.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was incredibly, heartwarming and quite a sensitive and real moment that you saw from him. And I don't think it's something that he meant to do necessarily, but we've spoken before about how many different trips he's done to Canada, the amount of different activities he's done in Canada. When he says that he has this connection, I don't feel like he's making that up. And I guess, when you've been through what he's been through the past few months, the last couple of years, I guess you do view things slightly differently. And those places that mean the most to you, being able to still travel there, being able to still stand in Parliament and give those speeches, I guess that has more poignancy perhaps than it's ever had before. And I suppose the thought of that being taken away would have even more poignancy.
Yeah, and we were standing very close to the King actually when he was outside Parliament, and I do what we often do, film things on your mobile phone, and you never really get as close with this lens. But Kevin's lens really caught the King. He was standing there. There was both the Canadian national anthem was played and the British national anthem, and he kind of, didn't he, Lizzie? He looked up at the sky. The sort of, we shouldn't overanalyze these things, and who knows what's going on in his mind. But he looked up at the sky. His sort of tongue was going into his cheek as if he was just feeling a bit overcome by the whole thing. Again, really unusual to see a member of the royal family do that kind of thing. We don't know what's going on, clearly, but something was definitely weighing heavily on him at that moment.
Yeah, and that emotion, I think, we heard coming through in the speech as well from the King. As he got to the very, very end of the speech, his voice just cracked ever so slightly. It was almost imperceptible, but when you listen back, you definitely can hear it, and we can play that to you now.
May you honour the profound trust bestowed upon you by Canadians. And may God bless and guide you in all your duties.
And another thing just to mention about the end of the speech, which was picked up very widely here and in the UK, was when the King said that the true North is indeed strong and free. That went down incredibly well with those listening to him. There was a huge standing ovation, wasn't there?
Yeah, you wonder whether that was the bit after he said that tipped him over the edge slightly, because there was that long applause. It was a bit. You remember Italy, Charlene, when actually everyone started clapping, he hadn't quite got to the end of his speech. It was a little bit like that. He said from the famous line from the Canadian anthem, "The true North, strong and free." He said the true North is indeed strong and free.
As the anthem reminds us, the true North is indeed strong and free.
That kind of is the clip that's being played again and again and again here in Canada for the way in which that was the King showing his support for Canada's sovereignty and independence.